You got to slow down because you're talking so fast. I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'll have to sue the courthouse for a hundredfold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the
you got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that.
Unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
All right, folks, buckle up, because today's case is an absolute heater. Judge Oakley is back in the courtroom, and as always, he's not holding back, especially when it comes to dealing with yet another sovereign citizen. Honestly, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Judge Oakley might just be the best in the game when it comes to handling these guys. His patience, precision, and zero-tolerance approach. Unmatched, but today's not just another courtroom rant about fake legal loopholes. The man in front of Judge Oakley is in court for assaulting his girlfriend, a serious charge. And yet, instead of addressing the allegations like an adult, he's out here pulling all the classic sovereign citizen moves. You know the drill. Claiming he doesn't recognize the court, denying the judge's authority, rejecting the charges as corporate fiction, the whole chaotic playbook. At this point, it's like watching the same broken movie over and over. When are these guys going to realize that these tactics never work? It's not clever. It's not revolutionary. It's just nonsense that wastes time and shows zero respect for the law. And listen, while you're watching this unfold, let me know in the comments, what do you think this guy's IQ is? Because based on his courtroom logic, let's just say I'm not betting on genius level brilliance here. Anyway, this hearing goes off the rails fast, so let's jump in and watch Judge Oakley lay down the law in one of the most explosive T's. Sovereign citizen showdowns.
Mr. Bowditch, are you ready on Goodman?
Well, Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman asked me to tell you that the prosecutor in this case has no power of attorney over him. He's an Israelite. There's no grounds under the bar code this matter should be dismissed. I believe he may want to represent himself. You may ask for some clarification if you talk to Mr. Goodman, but that's what he told me to tell you.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman, are you requesting that you represent yourself on this matter? You're muted, Mr. Goodman.
What I'm saying is nobody has power of attorney law over me through the barcode. I'm the beneficiary. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said, because that's what the law is. I got common law jurisdiction. It's a non-violent crime. So I push for it to be dismissed under the barcode.
Well, it's not going to be dismissed today. So simple question. Are you representing yourself from this point forward? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm counseling myself.
All right. Mr. Bowditch, you're out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I said, are you planning on filing a motion, or would you like to set this case for trial?
I'm planning on filing a motion to dismissal because there's no grounds or no standing over my case, because nobody has power of attorney law to hear me, to even take this process even further. You got to prove that first. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me to hear this matter.
Okay,
I'm an Israelite.
What you're saying, but you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. You don't have power of attorney law. The prosecutor don't have power of attorney law. You don't have power of attorney law. It's under the barcode.
Mr. Goodman, please do not interrupt me. I'm trying to be polite.
Okay, it's under the barcode, though. This is what you signed up to do. You're a public servant. So
right, unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
Yes, I am. I'm a human being. I'm not a deity. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that. It's under the barcode. This is the real law.
Come
here. Yeah, no standing or no ground.
Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date for your motion.
I'm only here to threaten cohesion.
Pardon me?
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. Do you agree?
So now this guy wants all of his rights protected, even the ones that don't actually exist. He's out here demanding the so-called right to drive without a license. Like that's some kind of sacred constitutional freedom. Let's be real for a second. Driving is not a right, it's a privilege. And it's one that's legally regulated by the government for public safety. That's not an opinion, it's basic legal reality. But here's where it gets really interesting, or honestly, it's really convenient. Out of nowhere, he's now claiming to be an Israelite. And hey, if that's genuinely part of someone's faith or heritage, fine. But in this context, it feels less like a sincere identity and more like a last-ditch move to avoid being labeled a sovereign citizen. Because here's the thing, sovereign citizens have already been flagged by federal agencies as a domestic threat. So now, instead of owning that label, he's trying to rebrand. It's almost too convenient. Like a legal costume change mid-hearing. To me, and maybe you feel the same. It just looks like another week. Attempt to sidestep responsibility. New label, same nonsense. The arguments don't hold up, the logic is shaky, and at the end of the day, it's still someone trying to rewrite the law because they don't want to follow it. But hey, that's just my take. What do you think? Is this guy being genuine, or is this just another sovereign citizen in disguise? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And now, let's dive back into this legal train wreck and see what else he tries to pull.
I can't understand what you're saying. I think you're too close to your mic.
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. Do you agree?
I can't understand you, so no, I don't agree. I hear your something
Okay,
all the time. but I don't know what you're saying.
intact to me at all times. I want all my rights intact to me at all times.
All right, I can't understand you. All right,
Okay.
Are you still living on border? Are you still living on border? Mr. Goodman, are you still living on border?
Ashley, keep yourself muted, please. Your child keeps crying. Thank you.
No, I live somewhere else. I moved.
All right, can you give me that address, please?
I stay at hotel rooms from time to time because I don't have no house right now. So I'm in staying in a hotel room.
Geographically, where are you at today?
Detroit, Michigan.
All right. So my next pretrial date is when, Heather?
It is March 8th.
All right. So Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date on March 8th to file a motion. You file a motion, we'll hear it on March 8th. That's going to be in person.
Motion for dismissal?
Whatever you want to file a motion. You said you wanted to file a motion. So I'm giving you a hearing date for your motion.
What time?
We'll schedule that at 10 a.m. and this is going to be live. No Zoom.
All right.
I'm having trouble
All right. I
with
want
the audio.
all my rights intact to me at all times.
Pardon
I'm
me?
only here to threaten collusion. I just want all my rights intact to me at all times. And everybody just got to prove that they got power of attorney law.
You got to slow down because you're talking so fast I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
Okay, what I'm saying is for the dismissal, I'm about to put it in today. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'm going to have to sue the courthouse for 100-fold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the
You got to prove
listen to your motion.
you got to
If you're
prove
not
that you
here on
got
the
power of
eighth,
attorney law over me. You don't have power. I don't care what you're talking about.
Attorney over you, Mr. Goodman. Listen
Yes, you do. You need power of attorney law to talk to me. You ain't got no ground. You ain't no standing. You ain't got no ground understanding. I got the affidavit of truth right here. I got authenticate birth certificate. I got a letter of intent over here right now. I broke all my contracts with the government. I'm not those capital letters. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. My name is Israel. I'm an Israelite. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. You don't got no power of attorney law over me. I'm pushing for dismissal. I'm suing your courthouse for 100-fold.
We go again, another sovereign citizen standing in court and threatening to sue the judge for $100,000. Yep, because that's definitely worked before, right? These folks really think that shouting, "I'm suing you," in the middle of a hearing is some kind of cheat code to escape legal consequences. Let's set the record straight. You can't sue the court for doing its job. Judges are protected by something called judicial immunity, which means they cannot be personally sued for the decisions they make from the bench. It's a cornerstone of the legal system, and every time one of these sovereign citizens ignores that and plays the "I'm suing the court" card, it just wastes everyone's time and makes them look completely out of touch with reality. What really blows my mind is the pattern. They commit a crime, they get caught, and then they act shocked, like they had no idea consequences were off. The level of legal cluelessness here is honestly staggering. It's like they skimmed one blog post from 2008 and suddenly think they've discovered secret laws the government doesn't want you to know about. And while it's easy to laugh, there's also something kind of disturbing about it. It feels like we're watching a slow-motion collapse in basic civic understanding. Like people are actively rejecting facts just because they don't like how the law works, but don't go anywhere because things only get messier. In his next court hearing, this guy is now showing up from jail because, surprise, he missed his own court date. Can't make this stuff up.
Try it again, counsel. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Mandrack for the people, P84088.
All right. And Mr. Goodman, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Murphy, what are we doing on these files?
Judge, it's my understanding that Mr. Goodman has an appointment at the Forensic Center on January 31st. As Your Honor knows, he has pending cases in Frank Murphy. He went before Judge Michael Callahan yesterday. He was, his bond was reinstated with a tether. I believe Your Honor has put a 250, 10% bond on Mr. Goodman. You know, Your Honor, that I'm going to ask you to reduce that bond to something affordable.
All right, so I've got two files. One file's got that 250, 10% with a GPS tether. That would be the February 5, 2022 incident date. And then the other file, which is the misdemeanor file from May 10, 2019, he's just on a personal on that one with a GPS tether.
Right, and you know, Your Honor, that I don't represent him on the DV.
Right, right. But he finally does have a date for a forensic exam?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, all right. So you just want to adjourn the PCC?
Yes, Judge. And ask for a reduction in bond.
Thank you. And Mr. Goodman, have you talked to an attorney on the domestic violence case, or are you representing yourself on that one?
I have nobody to represent me. I think it was Langford or something was supposed to be my attorney. I'm not sure how it went south.
Okay. All right, counsel, go ahead and make your bond argument. But before you do, just so we're all on the same page, my notes say it's $25,000, 10%, no contact with complaining victim, and GPS tether. Is that your understanding?
So, Judge, I thought it was 250,000, 10%, 25,000.
I don't know what I just said, but
oh,
my file says 250. Well, yeah, 250,000, 10%. Correct.
So, Judge, I mean, obviously that's unaffordable. Mr. Goodman is not a man of means.
Honestly, just one look at this guy, and you already get the vibe. Like his entire net worth could probably fit inside a chipped piggy bank, 2 crumpled dollars, and a stale Tootsie Roll. And listen, that's not even the shocking part. What really says it all? Even the public defenders want nothing to do with him. Now, public defenders are legally obligated to represent people who can't afford a private attorney. That's the whole point of the system, fair representation for everyone. But even then, they can decline a case under certain conditions, like a clear conflict of interest, or if the client is just completely unworkable, and when even they are tapping out. Yeah, that speaks volumes. You already know this guy is a walking courtroom disaster, but let's not gloss over the real issue here. This isn't just about a missed traffic stop or some sovereign citizen rant. This man is facing a serious domestic violence charge for assaulting his partner. That's not a joke, and it's not something you talk your way out of with fake legal theories or YouTube law school credentials. That's a real crime with real consequences. So when you add it all up, the arrogance, the nonsense legal arguments, the violent behavior, and the fact that even court-appointed counsel is throwing in the towel, it paints a clear picture. This isn't just someone who's lost. This is someone who's dangerous. Let's jump back in and see how. Judge Oakley handles what's coming next because it's about to get even messier.
He and his significant other just acquired new housing, Your Honor. They have a baby. Mr. Goodman needs to be there to assist with childcare responsibilities because both of them were working before Mr. Goodman was taken into custody. I know we've had some issues, Your Honor, with appearing in court. Mr. Goodman has had transportation issues with respect to getting to the forensic center, and that was his issue, Judge. The tether violation was simply a malfunction of equipment. So I would ask Your Honor to, and since they do not have means, Your Honor, I would ask Your Honor to reduce I'm asking Your Honor for a personal with the tether.
Response.
Um,
Counsel, you don't have to jump up to talk to me. I know it's instinctive, but it's okay if you don't.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is instinctive. Your Honor, in this case, he is before us for a misdemeanor DV. I understand he does have some pending felonies. I understand he's on a GPS tether for the felonies. I believe at this time, the most important thing is that he remain on, or that if he is released, he remains on a GPS tether. So in this case, I would not object to a personal bond.
All right. Ms. Murphy, unfortunately, this is one of those situations where I don't care what the parties think, because I've got a long history. This building's got a long history with Mr. Goodman not showing up in court. So I set the bond for that reason. I'm keeping the bond as it is for that reason.
I've got to say, I seriously respect Judge Oakley. You can just tell. He's one of the good ones. No ego, no games, just a judge who knows the law, stands on principle, and doesn't let anyone walk in and play the system. Even when both parties agreed to just let this guy off the hook, Judge Oakley stood his ground. He wasn't about to let nonsense slide on his watch. He delivered a reality check like a pro. Clear, firm, and impossible to ignore. And honestly, that's exactly what a good judge should do. Justice isn't just about agreements behind the scenes, it's about doing what's right, even when it's not the easy choice. Let me know what you guys thought of that case in the comments, because I personally thought it was a perfect example of what real accountability looks like. And that last moment, so satisfying to watch. Judge Oakley handled it like a champ. But don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. Up next, we've got a whole different kind of energy. Judge Boyd steps up to the bench, and let's just say things heat up fast. A young defendant walks in and decides today's the day to test the limits, throwing out attitude, back-talking, and trying way too hard to act cool in a courtroom, where that kind of behavior crashes and burns quickly. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for him. Let's dive in and see how Judge Boyd handles this bold and honestly pretty reckless performance.
All right, why were you late for court?
I really don't got an excuse besides I got insomnia.
I'm sorry, what?
I really don't got an excuse, but I got insomnia.
He overslept, Judge. That's what he's saying.
All right, so here's the thing. You need to be on time for court. Otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? Whether you're 20 or 18, guess what? We'll make sure that you come on time. If you're not on time, we'll know where you are. You know how we'll know that?
Got my address.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, y'all got my address.
No, because you'll be in Orange and we'll bring you over from the jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
In school?
Yes.
10th grade.
All right, why did you only go to the 10th grade?
I dropped out
Why?
because there was like a lot of drama.
All right, so let me explain to you about drama. Drama is you coming before the court and not addressing the court properly. Drama is using slang and not proper English coming before the court. So my advice is you probably want to get your GED so that you can get a job, because now it is hard to get good employment without at least a high school diploma. And even if you have a high school diploma, it's still hard. Guess what? People who go to college, and I'm not talking to people who go to college and they're getting a degree in philosophy, finding a job. I mean, people who are going to college, getting a degree in engineering, biology, they're all having a hard time finding employment. So you come along and you don't even have a 10th grade education and you're trying to get employment, it does not look good. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
I was employed.
So that's a no, right? You're not working?
No, ma'am.
So that means that your mom or somebody is supporting you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you come back here on the 27th, you're going to come on time and you're going to address the court properly. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. We have an excuse?
Yes. Once you sign the reset form.
I had to include that last clip because, seriously, it just blows. My mind that someone could be bold enough to talk to a judge like they're chatting with their friends at a bar? I mean, come on. This isn't game night. You can't roll into court, virtual or not, acting like it's just casual hangout time. The disrespect is wild. But the real story I want to focus on is that earlier case, the one with the sovereign citizen. That guy screaming on Zoom. Yeah, that has to be one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in a long time. Like, you're on Zoom, not a live stream rant. You're in court. There's just something absurd about yelling into a webcam like it's going to cancel out your charges, and honestly, I don't think these sovereign citizens should even be allowed to appear remotely. If you want to act out in court, do it in person. It's a lot harder to throw a tantrum when you're standing face to face with a judge, a bailiff, and the full weight of the justice system staring back at you. Behind a screen, it's easy to puff your chest, but in real life, that bravado tends to disappear real quick. And here's where I might ruffle some feathers. But I've got to say it. It really feels like some judges are going way too soft these days. Look, I'm all for fairness and giving people a shot to do better. But there's a fine line between offering grace and letting nonsense spiral out of control. These sovereign citizen types, they're not learning. They're dragging out hearings, hijacking the process, and turning courtrooms into clown shows. Sometimes, what they really need isn't another chance. It's a firm legal wake-up call. Judges have the authority to take control, and in situations like these, I honestly think more of them should. Put the foot down, cut through the games, get court back on track. But hey, that's just my take. I'd love to know what you think. Was Judge Oakley fair in how he handled that first hearing? Personally, I thought he showed way more patience than most would have. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all, and I genuinely appreciate every single one of you who shares your perspective. And if you enjoy content like this, deep dives into real court cases, sovereign citizen chaos, and judges who don't play games, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I post every single day, and I'm always covering the latest courtroom moments that deserve a second look. Thanks again for watching. Take care of yourselves, and, as always, stay sharp.